A career in the Canadian Forces is both demanding and rewarding. For those who choose to serve, regardless of age, gender, or background, the journey begins here. We'll follow 5 young Canadians from the recruiting office through the rigors of basic training and beyond. We'll share their experiences, we'll share their goals and aspirations, we'll share their triumphs, and we'll share their defeats.
I'm Sergeant Derek Scott, and this is Basic Up.
Private recruit Pte Weremko is 20 years old. She wants to learn new skills and make her father proud. Private recruit Ryan White is 24 years old and is pursuing a long-time goal. He hopes to do his best and make a contribution however he can. Private recruit Giles Harding believes he has lacked direction in his life and wants to join the infantry to learn self-discipline. Private recruit Ken Collins is 19 years old. He believes the military will develop his leadership abilities. Private recruit Adam Hudson submitted his voluntary release, and we wish him well in his future endeavors. Preparation for graduation begins. It's an exciting time for all recruits. The stress and strain of basic training is coming to an end, and it's a time for celebration with family and a lot of new friends. For one, though, graduation is bittersweet. Private recruit Harding injured ligaments in his knee during the last week of training. His hope of a career in the infantry is in jeopardy.
We were on an operation for an assignment to a humanitarian aid camp to offer relief. When we get there, Demo platoon instructor was shooting everybody. I was told to take him down. I was told to use minimal force. The instructor wasn't obviously told that order. Things went south, and I ended up injured. My ACL is torn, so I'll probably need surgery.
I think Private Harding came here with the right attitude, eager to learn, eager to try new things. However, like any other person coming from civilian life to military life, he had his difficulties, whether it had been in kit and quarters, doing his MK classes, topo, throughout the whole training, the TP. However, he developed, I would say, he advanced normally. Towards the end of the FTX, the final 12-week exercise, I think he excelled. He did very well. He took everything he'd learned, plus extra in the field, and he put it together and did an excellent job. However, towards the end of the exercise, he was injured, and now we're just waiting to find out exactly what's going to happen with him, whether he's going to carry on with his original MOC, which is 031 Infantry, or if he's going to have to remuster. We don't know yet.
So the plan is, at the end of the ceremony, we're going to come out one last time and do a dismiss. And as we do the dismiss, the rest of the troops are going to form a semicircle around me. And my dad, Pte Barber, is going to bring Allison down and going to get down on one knee and pop the question. And I got the ring and everything ready to go. Hopefully everything works out for me.
Basic Up will be right back.
Like a fat kid on Smarties.
Be quick. Smile for the camera when you're in there.
This is things you don't see. It's behind the scenes when we're getting ready for parade. Little things like making sure little tiny bladders get emptied before we go out on the parade square so that we don't have any accidents on the parade square. We generally try to let the females go first because the males tend to piss all over the seats and make a mess of the place, so we let the ladies go in first.
From this day forward, you will no longer be known as recruits. You are now a member of the Canadian Forces, and on behalf of the proud men and women currently serving and the many who have served before us, I welcome you.
And we're very proud. He's the third generation full-time military, with his grandfather being a veteran and myself being in the Air Force. I'm the odd man out now, so I think he's going to have enjoyment with that one.
He's grown up, he's thinner. He's still my boy though, no matter what.
Oh, it's so good to see him. It really is. I'm very, very proud of him, and yes.
Well, we're happy, we're kind of surprised. It went by fast for us. I don't think it went by fast for her, but it seems just like yesterday she left, and we're proud of her.
The parade went a lot more smoothly than I thought. They actually had a band in that, so it's pretty smooth actually. Not even that nerve-wracking either. It's pretty calm, pretty relaxed. Turned out really well, from what I can see in the back row anyway, so it's pretty good stuff.
A few beers tonight?
Fire picket.
So you're on fire picket.
Sergeant.
Someone's gotta love you, baby.
Seems so, Sergeant.
Why? Because why you're on fire picket?
I don't know, Sergeant.
Because you're a dumbass.
Sergeant.
I
want a beer.
You want a beer, don't you?
I want a lot of beer, Sergeant. Wish I didn't have fire picket after the parade. Because I want to get drunk and celebrate. Oh well.
Basic Up will be right back.
You go through like a complete change of lifestyle. You come here knowing nobody, and you know nothing really of the military. Well, some people do, but most of them don't. So when someone's telling you, call me Master Corporal, like, why the hell should I call you that? I never thought about putting in my release. I'm not like that, I would not quit. But I thought probably after drill test, they'd kick me out. The weapons handling. I was so shocked that I passed that the first try. The 13K, that was crazy because my feet were so bad that day. And it just freaked me out that I couldn't do it. And I was able to do it here, 7K at least. I had no difficulties, but there I couldn't even do 6 basically. That really sucked. Yeah, I'm surprised I was able to do all those things the guys were able to do. And you know, there was 12 girls in the beginning, now there's only 3 of us that are graduating. So that's crazy, you know, and they're all bigger than me anyways. So I'm proud of myself for being a small person and doing it. And I don't even weigh 100 pounds. It feels nice that I'm gonna be able to do what I want when I want kind of thing. Still have the discipline of the military and them there kind of to take care of me in a way, because I don't really have to worry about medical or anything. They're there. So I have my own life and I don't have to ask my parents for anything. I can rely on no one. Be prepared, physically for all the physical stuff, because that's how we lost a lot of people. So just at least try and work out before you come here, because a lot of people didn't do that. Oh, I always tell people, like, when they ask me to join, tell them, they take care of you. If you want to continue education, that they help you out. So I think it's a great thing, and you get paid to be here, It's not like I'm paying for anything really here, It's like, I don't know. I see a lot of people who are telemarketers. I think that's just stupid. They could just come here and get a career.
I would definitely say the discipline in my life has changed, but it's the small things drive me nuts now. Like, my room has to be very clean. And before, my overall life before I was here, I was working in construction, drinking, hanging out with friends. And it's just completely 100% different now. Like, I take pride in what I do. And before, my story of my life in high school was just get by with the minimal amount of effort, swing by, talk your way through situations, and getting by just on the lowest possibility, the lowest amount of effort, and just being content with that. But it's different now. You strive for just being better. The training, after seeing the videos in the recruiting centers, you have a general idea, like, they're very true to life. I just expected difficulty and a huge change of what my life was to something new. And the sense that I knew was difficult, and I enjoyed the difficulty because it's just constantly a challenge, but the real thing that I didn't expect was the pride that comes along with it, especially given from your instructors. You come in, you're not really expected or pro-Canada, or like you want to join the Canadian Forces, but you don't really know what it means until you start actually doing the training and you start representing your own country. And some of my staff, you learn so much from them, and it wasn't so much like after a while the difficulty just became normal life. The inspections, you constantly think of them as, but like you think it's so hard, or they just need this, that, and the third, but it really just becomes second nature. The drill, the marching, the discipline, and eventually you learn to enjoy it, and it's just a second part of your life. But it's the pride in the training that it really sticks out, and I find that's the best part of the entire course. Completing the course it's a tough one. It's a great feeling of pride. Obviously, it didn't end on the best note due to the injury, but there's tons of other things to do in the Army. I'm offered so many availabilities to advance my education, which I plan on doing. And like I said earlier on, it's just the pride that comes along with it. But the training was just one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And completing the course, it's just, you look back 13 weeks ago, I've done things that I've never done. I can walk and navigate through a forest. Like, normally if you gave me a compass and a map 2 weeks ago and put me in a forest, or 4 weeks ago, I wouldn't even find my way out. But now, every week they offer you a new challenge. And by come Monday and then come Sunday, you have the ability to do something you'd never even dream of doing before. And so that's what the course is. It creates an entire new person of yourself. And it's just the entire thing about the Army. It's just you're constantly building yourself up, advancing yourself further. So I look at it as just kind of the first step in hopefully a long career that I can constantly just move and grow in the Army. I'd say at the beginning, one of the most difficult obstacles was, by nature, I was a bit of a loner before. You have your close friends, but still, you prefer your own self. And it was a complete change of scenery when you're living with 48 other guys, or 55 at the beginning, 55 other people, and you live, sleep, breathe, everything, and they're no more than 2 feet away at all times. And in exercises, they're right next to you. And that was a huge change in my life. And at first it was a bit of a challenge because you kind of get claustrophobic around all these people. And it's hard because, of course, you're not going to like everybody. And it's hard to work with someone because either you're butting heads, you don't like the way they do things. But that was the biggest challenge, because at first I wasn't too into it at first, the whole teamwork concept. But that automatically changes. You develop like a brotherhood. And the guy next to you is the most important thing when you're on exercise. And you develop friendships, deeper friendships than most, like, and you learn to, but like I said, it's just a change. You change, and next thing you know, I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like not hanging out with these guys every day. And it's almost sad because I don't wanna, they're all leaving. We'll never all be together again, which is, it's sad, but you know, we're all moving on. Hopefully we'll meet up later on in the forces, but that was the biggest challenge, and I think I overcame it, and actually now I've come to, it's one of the biggest parts of my life now. My instructors are probably my favorite people in the world right now because, and this isn't just ass kissing, it starts off, you're scared, they yell and everything, and you get used to it, but I can't even imagine what it's going to be like being away from them because we have like Pte Baker, who's one of the, I'll never forget the first day he came in, running up to someone's face, just screaming in their ear, and everybody's just like, who is this guy? But he's one of the funniest guys I've ever seen, and he's amazing at drill. And each one you learn, like Sgt Storey is probably one of the toughest guys I've ever seen, like Sgt Storey, and they just have so much experience, and Sergeant Roy, who is, the way he could make, Sergeant Roy can make a class about how to pour a cup of coffee, but he'll have your 100% complete attention because he just teaches it so well. That's the best thing about the instructors here. They're just so much experience to pass on, and they're hard when they have to be, but that's the only way it should be. The best piece of advice I could give is, it's not, we've seen some people come into the course on a whim, and it was just like, they didn't know for sure, and some of the guys toughed it through, and then 3 weeks into it, they would just be like, all right, this isn't for me good. Some guys left after 3 days. It's not something you just sign up for thinking it's, maybe I'll join the Army and everything will be all right. It's a commitment, it takes discipline, and you will change. And so if you're content with who you are right now and you don't want to change at all, then this might not be the right career path for you. But if you were looking for something like I was, to change, to better yourself in different ways, then the Canadian Forces can offer you everything you need for that, to turn your life around to something that's more positive. And so my best piece of advice would just be come in with a good head on your shoulders and expect to be worked hard and expect to advance, but don't come in thinking that it's just going to be an easy walk, and don't come in on just a whim. Like, you have to be 100% sure you want to stay.
I thought when I first came in here, I try to take a leader role, so I try to ask as many questions as I can, try to make sure that it was all done correctly, that I could get the best out of the training, and kind of be recognized. But what I learned, it's better not to be. Because it's kind of better to stay gray, because then you're not showing out above the rest, and you kind of just keep going, just making it through the course. And then later on during your career, you can actually show yourself to your full potential, and that you can become a leader. You're not too much as a follower, even though you like to gain experience from the experienced. Learning leadership, how to take control, the ability to trust in others, which is kind of a hard thing to do in some people today. And how to just work together as a team. Teamwork is what makes it. So that's the only way you can get through this, is if you're not an individual, but you're a team. Inspections, I guess, would be very keen, because paying attention to the detail is very important. And even missing something leaving something out can really make you lose a lot of marks. It kind of boggled my mind that inspections could have such a serious effect, like, on a person, even though it really doesn't have too much to do with the actual military itself. But that was just from my perspective. It's like, how could you judge a person by that? But it's just another stepping stone in order to accomplish, in order to better yourself. So that's just the way they're trying to train us. Learning the actual meaning behind the honor and integrity and courage. So it's a great accomplishment. I'm very happy that my family came to see me, and I'm very excited that I got to graduate with most of my peers.
Well, to think about it, I'm trying to remember back then. It seems so long ago, but such a short time ago at the same rate. It is what I expected, but it's still a lot harder than I expected it to be. Like, just a transition. Nothing so physical. I think it's more the mental thing and adjusting the whole mind frame to go from working civilian to working military. Doesn't seem like much when you look at it, but when you're actually going through the transition, it's a lot different, right? When I first started, I remember saying that probably the husbandry, like making the beds and cleaning the cubicles and all that, would be the hardest part, and some of the other stuff would be pretty easy. That was pretty damn easy, though. Once you get it down once, it's not so bad, and you can help out some of your buddies, and it's pretty sweet. Another major thing was the punishments were harder to deal with, because you think, well, if I do my shit and I get it all done and squared away, then you're set. But it doesn't work that way, right? You can do your stuff as good as you want it, but if the guy beside you screws anything up, you're all paying for it. No matter how good you think you are and how much you think you don't deserve it, you have to work as a team, or else you're not gonna enjoy the situation all too much. Not everyone who tries it makes it. A lot of people think that it's pretty easy. You go in there, you can just go and do it and have it done with. But you start off with so many people in the platoon, and not everyone makes it. As simple as that. Like, some are cut for it, some aren't. You pass it, you realize that you are able to do it. I did pretty well for scoring and stuff like that, so it looks like it'll work in my favor, hopefully, and work my way up to the sergeant. I'll be happy and quite proud. I guess the whole teamwork thing now, it's not looking at yourself as an individual anymore. You got to look out for your buddies beside you, and it's don't just think for personal again. You got to think for the whole as one, right? It's a team effort rather than just personal. So that's one of the major changes for me. It's not just yourself. You have to look out for your comrades as well. That organization is a lot better, and discipline's a hell of a lot better too. It's no looking around and stuff like that. When you have to do something, you do it. You can focus on a task, and you don't have to be distracted by every little thing around you. I remember the first week was a little difficult. I was all pumped out. You all do your rucksack, carry all your kit up and that. But after the second, third week, you'd wake up in the morning and be like, holy crap, I just want to sleep in. I don't want to go and do something. You're kind of thinking, what the heck am I doing here? And then you realize, think back to the reasons why you want to be here and what you want to do for your country and what you want to do for yourself.
More Basic Up in just a minute.